Actually, you got me there. I'm blanking. Gork. Oh, thanks. There's a young guy named Gork who's doing a lot of this CGI and computer design effects, and I am totally blanking on the name of the guy who did the practical effects. Sorry, but it's a mixture of a lot of the movie runs on. We did run with a lot of prosthetics and the teeth and the eyes and just blood effects, but a lot of the stuff that you're really going to be seeing when you see the monsters is CG. The director of the film is a young, hot director named Doug Arniakowski, who kind of came up in the Robert Rodriguez school once upon a time in Mexico. And this is, I think, his first time at the helm. He brought a lot of energy to it. When I first got on the set, and I was, because it's weird when you've written a book and then you've written a script and it's been this long. I mean, I was working for years, literally over a decade to get this movie made. There was one point where it was going to be made with some another director, actually Mike Figgis, who did Leaving Las Vegas, among other things. He was going to direct for a while, and then the project died, went nowhere, and then it was dormant for a while. And then I got a call one day from a producer that I had done another project with, an F. Paul Wilson novel, The Tomb. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's currently slated for release as Repairman Jack. And I was the first writer on that project. We worked on it for a couple of years. And then Barry Rosenbush, the one producer, actually called me. He came to my website. And he just called me one day, and he just wanted to know if Animals was still available. And we got together, we started talking about it, and we just started on the road again. He told me he had wanted to make the movie. He had read the book 10 years before, and he'd wanted to make the movie the entire time. So eventually we managed to put all the moving parts together to get a movie done, and we got Doug Arniakowski in to be a director. And when I first showed up on set, it's weird when you walk in and you see these things that you've imagined, that they've lived in your mind, and all of a sudden you're just there. And there's this whole crew. I walked into the set for the bar, and I couldn't believe how cool it was. I mean, the designer that they had working, they shot it in Salt Lake City in Utah, and the designer had done everything down to the tiniest detail of the bar. I mean, you could literally sit at this bar and be in a real place. And I just walked in, and I sat down, I'm like, I've waited a really long time to drink a beer in this bar. And actually, some of the grips who were putting it together, they actually hooked a little Heineken keg up to one of the taps. So it would work. And right before I had to fly back to LA, I did get to drink a beer in the bar. So I was really happy with that. But when I showed up and saw the first scene they did on the first day, it kind of started things out with a bang, was when Nora picks up this girl who Vic is, he's starting to put her out to pasture, and he's grooming a new girl. And the first scene that they shot on the first day of production was Nora and the girl in this club bathroom, and she goes up, and Nora's like doing a line of coke in the bathroom, and she hands her the straw, and they start doing it together, and then they start having a little bit of a thing with each other in the bathroom, and then Nora rips her throat out. And that was the first scene that they shot, and I thought that started production off with a bang. That got things going pretty good. But Doug impressed me. I was very impressed with his vision of the thing. He shot most of it, about 99% of it, he shot handheld, with one of these big Terminator-sized high-definition DV cameras. And he really had a vision for it. And he kept the camera sort of moving in liquid through everything. And I had never expected the movie to look like that when it was finally put to screen. But when I saw what he was doing, and the great thing about technology nowadays, and this is not a tremendously expensive film. This was shot for under $5 million. But even at that, it used to be when you'd be on set, you'd see a little black and white monitor, that would show you what the camera's seeing, and you wouldn't really get to see what the scenes look like until you saw dailies, and you had to wait a long time to really get a sense of what the movie looks like. And now you go in, and he's got this huge camera, and I go over to where everybody's sitting, and they have these big flat panel monitors that are up there, and you can literally see what the movie looks like as they're shooting it, and that was extremely cool.